Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, welcome. So let's start with Ondo poll. Happened over the weekend. Aiyedatiwa has been declared the winner. But look at Ondo Labour Party candidates blaming Obi and NLC for his defeat. Do you think that holds water? Did he ever stand a chance?
In relation to the Labour Party, the candidates' complaints, I think he simply referred to the internal struggle within the Labour Party, which saw the governor, Alex Oti, Obi, and the NLC principal stakeholders actually moving against Julius Abure. They did set up a caretaker committee that replaced the candidate with Shola Ibisheni, more favored, by the Abure faction. So, but eventually, the court ruled that the Abure faction remained the legal constituted authority, and due to that, INEC was forced through a court of appeal judgment to replace that candidate with the original candidate, from the Abure faction who contested the election just days before the election. To be fair, I don't think he's actually referring to Obi as a person. He was actually talking about the division within the Labour Party that deprived him of the opportunity, coming from Abure faction, to campaign for elections until some couple of days before the election itself. So, but because Obi is a principal actor, along with Alex Oti and other stakeholders, including NLC, I think that's why he's actually referring to them in person. To be fair, to being declared a candidate 3 days or 4 days to election clearly shows that you don't stand a chance. So I don't think he's not blaming the electorates, but actually blaming the internal wranglings within the party. Yes.
Okay, so let's also talk about this trending story. The Indian Prime Minister was around over the weekend, and the People's Democratic Party, that's PDP, they are calling out on Mr. President for bestowing on him the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, which is like Nigeria's second highest national honor. And well, to them they're saying, is it really worth it? What exactly is the relationship with Indian Prime Minister? Even him going far ahead to call President Tinubu Oremi. I wonder how long it took him to learn that. And Mr. President said the award was bestowed on him as a show of appreciation for their partnership and bilateral relationship. Do you think this has an undertone, perhaps a means of encouraging trade?
I actually think so. When you look at, usually honors are done in that way.
Okay.
When they are conferred on foreign countries. Even you have cities, claiming to be twin city with another city in another country with a view to attract interest and development in their cities. So same thing happened when it comes to leaders, of different countries. In the case of Nigeria, you recall that President Tinubu went to India, met with not just the military, met with some of the key actors, in the private sector. That meeting was facilitated, by Modi, from what I gathered at that point in time, and then it led into a pledge of $10 billion worth of investment in our country. And I view that the award as a way of saying thank you with a view for being a friend of Nigeria, then with a view to help streamroll, the promise made, just to get Modi more interested in the affairs of our country. And in any case, for us, India is a very important trading partner, which we need to nurture our relationship with.
What makes them very important trading partners?
Oh, India is the biggest country in the whole world. They have the population. We are
more than China.
Yeah, more than China. They actually went ahead when China embarked on one-child policy, and which China is now trying to reverse, because that now saw the population of India soaring above that of China. Being the most populous country in the world, of course, naturally, even if you want to export granite or export gari, you will find the population, somebody somewhere there is willing to buy. So that makes them very important. Number two, strategically and diplomatically, India and China are very, very close, to Russia, and we all know already the situation with America, and of course, as a way of leveraging on the diplomatic front. Don't forget the demand for permanent council seats, security council seats, has been on the agenda, supported by many countries. Of course, we are not as close to Russia, as India. So therefore, we will need. India is also aspiring. We would obviously need some level of diplomatic support from Russia before it can see the light of the day. The Americans, we don't have problems with them, but we really need to do a little bit more with the Russians, and that is why you see us, applying to be a BRICS partner. These are part of the games going on, and obviously, once you don't, you're good good books of the Americans, and then you only need the Russians and China to be supportive. So within that context, we also need India, with a view to get the Russians on board, so that we are not seen to be strictly pro-Americans alone. We are seen to be willing to do business with other countries.
Wow, politics is really a lot of chess.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. Let's head on to the next story.
Well, let's look at the Vanguard newspaper now. I'm just going to take a look at the major headlines across the Vanguard. Major one here has to do with Ondo State polls. Of course, Ondo Guber, how are they? Ayedatiwa flawed Ajayi. You can read up on that in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Other headlines in the Vanguard newspaper: Nigerians suffering, reverse floating of Naira, energy cost, Labour urges Tinubu. NGX proposes amendment to trading license holders rules. Video: Lagos plotting to colonize northern Nigeria, says Kwankwaso. Dangote versus Pinnacle and others on fuel supply. A Catholic bishop laments bloodletting in southeast, urges caution. Senator Uwe says anyone can appeal for admission, says NUC. AGF recommends FBI model for EFCC and ICPC investigations. On poor power supply, Azura boss urges federal government to remove legacy debts from Disco's books. Bargain hunting pushes stock market to positive territory. Dangote refinery critical to manufacturing value chain, says MAN. These are the headlines in the Vanguard newspaper, but I'll place my focus on the major one, which has to do with Nigerians suffering, reverse floating of Naira, energy cost, and Labour urges Tinubu. Now, there's organized labor a weekend in Ibadan, Oyo State, urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to reverse the floating of the national currency and energy costs to lessen the hardship across the country. Now, be able to show me if there's one of if we look at the policies being made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aside, of course, the very popular one, fuel subsidy leaving, is the floating of the naira. Now, when we compare the expectations economically wise, now when it comes to the economy now, from the economic angle of things, we expected that President Buhari, or former President Buhari, we didn't expect so much from him when it comes to his economic decisions, but we expected more from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, ever since he's become Nigeria's president, and we've looked at it from an economical angle of things, I think his decisions, though, especially one of them, has to be the floating of the naira. I'm not sure Nigerians would pick President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economical policies over decisions that were made by former President former President Muhammadu Buhari right now, especially when it comes to that issue of floating of the naira. Would you say that, first off, what have we gained from that decision, first off?
Yeah, no doubt. If there's any policy you cannot blame on Buhari, floating of naira is one of them. In fact, is the major policy change. We need to know what happened and why that had to be done. And I'll start with your question. What have we gained? We have eliminated arbitrage. That somebody can walk to CBN because I know Godwin Emefiele, or because I'm a nephew of the president, and then collect $1 billion, $10 billion at the rate of 450 naira, pay the money back in naira, not in dollars, at the, after selling it for 750 naira, then collecting 450 at the rate of 450 naira. Clearly arbitrage. People became multi-billionaire. We knew one or two industries were funded through that process, owned by the private sector, and then you have shares being allotted, discreetly to people one way or the other. So look, a lot happened with the naira when we had the dual exchange system, and that created a major problem for the country. In fact, it also accelerated the decline in the value of the naira. Now, we also got to a situation, another gain of it is virtually the country was prostrate and there was no money even to run activities. Some federal parastatals were being owed 5 months salaries, and then development was stagnating as a result of the huge debt overhang on the country. In order to raise the naira needed to run the local economy, which all the state governments were very happy with because it provided them a way out, they had to flow the naira. So basically what it means is you devalue your currency with a view, I'm just putting it in stark terms, the valuation of the naira in order to create more naira per dollar. And because most of the government activities within the country are in naira, so that generated more naira, for government to carry out its operations, both the state and the federal government. That's the way I can put it in terms of the gains.
Okay, but that makes sense from a particular angle. But then again, for the masses, now for Nigerians, an average Nigerian asking, so how, when we look at that advantage that you've just mentioned, now when we look at disadvantage, now which is more, which is hitting harder now? Yes. Which are we gaining from the most when it comes to the larger population?
The problem we have is when you devalue your currency, whether you call it floating the naira or direct devaluation of your local currency, it's more suitable for countries that are exporting goods, because devaluation makes the cost of your goods cheaper, more competitive. If you take away the issue of quality, at the international level, so you are able to export more and more. But in our own case here, we are not producing enough. Even while we're not producing enough, you will not believe it, with the cost of gari, yam and all, people are still exporting food to hand foreign currency, which essentially is the goal of naira devaluation. But the real thing is that you have to increase output. We have not been able to increase output, so that again is leading to high cost of prices of goods within our own country. So in a way, it's affecting the people, negatively in that sense. But for some business people, who are exporting what you don't have enough of already, they are making money in dollars because they now get more naira value for it. So that's the major issue. The problem is it has led to increase in prices of goods and commodities within the country, and to that extent, and because we are not producing enough, that has created problems, for many people.
All right, thank you so much, Bjorn, showing for analysis, and let's move elsewhere now.
Okay, let's fly through the Guardian newspaper. Here are the headlines. LASUTH, that's the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, the CMD seeks review of abortion laws. That's a very interesting one. Yuletide spending, supply disruption to push inflation up 34.45% this month. Kano NNPP at crossroads over alleged Yusuf Kwankwaso food 2025 budget. Experts divided over 1,400 naira to a dollar exchange rate. Others. 3 stocks record over 20 billion turnover in 1 week as financial sector shares 72%. But the story that I would want us to maybe just look at for the next 1 minute or two is this one, the major story in the Guardian newspaper, actually, about the Chief Medical Director of Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Professor Adetokunbo, stressing the need to review the existing laws on abortion in Nigeria to end maternal mortality. And here's what he says, I quote verbatim: Nigeria still operates an abortion law that came into force in 1907. That is surely obsolete. Under that law, a rape victim who becomes pregnant in the process cannot abort the pregnancy. Also, a victim of incest cannot abort, no matter the emotional trauma or humiliation. And he goes on to further, give certain examples that because of this law, most people carry out abortion in secrecy, and because of that, they end up either dying or causing permanent damage to their bodies. And we know recently when Trump won, a lot of Americans would tell you that they voted Trump because of his perspective on abortion rights. And now that it seems as though the door for this discussion has been opened in Nigeria, I'd like to get your views.
Yeah, I think what Professor Fabamiwo is calling for is a review of the abortion law with a view to take into account contemporary situations. We now have a younger population, about 60% of our population, who are more disposed to certain behavior. For instance, in the case of abortion, they are more disposed to wanting to get rid of unwanted pregnancy. What led to the initial 1907 law? At that point in time, abortion was highly unpopular globally, and because of religion. And then the further people believe that even an unborn child has a right to exist, no matter how that child, came into being. And that led to people carrying out abortion in secrecy, because you don't have a right to abort a child as a result of whether rape or whatever could have led to it. Once you are pregnant. So you now have younger girls left with children that they are not happy to have, or they don't even know the father. That was where the concept of bastards and all, I'm sorry to use that, there's no child that is a bastard, but that was where it came, about. So people view it derogatorily. So rather than women being, left with a situation, to give birth to babies they don't want, they now resort to unorthodox means, since you cannot do it legally in the hospital, and that has led to infant mortality. It's not only just even the babies, you also have some women died. There's an increasing number of women dying as a result of illegal abortion. And what I think Professor Fabamiwo is calling for is that why don't you liberalize the law, change it to reflect the contemporary situation with a view to avoid needless death, either of children or of the mothers.
Rather interesting. I mean, I do have some follow-up questions whether Nigeria is ready for this conversation right now.
Well, don't forget, there will be a tough battle, because you have religious organizations that will readily go against it. I can see how the Catholic Church will never sanction abortion. So it will be very interesting to see what the perspectives, of the churches, traditionalists, and the Muslims will be on this very issue.
Definitely looking forward to that too.
All right, phone lines are open right now. Call the number 0700-1051-105. And please remember, you have a minute, and please let your comments be civil.
Hello.
Good morning, Sanzi.
Good morning to you, sir. Welcome.
You have a Kambelina here.
Thanks for joining us. Please go
I
ahead.
do your best.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
See, Mr. Bionisho, I don't understand. You were asked what have we gained from the floating of the naira, and you have told us what the government has gained. They have gained more money for themselves. Has that translated to any good thing for the masses? The answer is no. So when you continue gaining in naira, you are now having more money to share and enjoy and buy all kinds of things for yourself and your family, and you buy all kinds of houses. People keep on suffering. policy a good policy? Is it a good policy when you now float the naira and people cannot buy anything? Everything in the market is costly. You go to the market, you open your shop, nobody will come and buy it because things are costly. And then they've asked you what we gain. You should tell us what the masses have gained because we have not gained anything. Everybody is suffering. Everybody is hungry. It's so shameful that a country can come up and you still defend it. We are not in fact anything that doesn't touch the lives of the ordinary man in the street. That policy is nonsense according to me. If you ask me, please, Tanzi.
Yes, sir.
Again, tell them that policy they should revise it. We don't want it. You are sent it to them again.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. 0700 1051 1051. That's the number to reach us in the studio. And for WhatsApp, our number is 0909 916 4403. Do not call the WhatsApp number. It is strictly for messages. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Chiweta.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Sansi, good morning. My beloved brother, Abjadin, good morning.
Good morning,
sir.
Yeah, thank you. See, I did ask you guys one question some time ago. I said before 1999, how many presidents to date, both serving and those who are no longer in power, governor, senator, House of Rep, ministers, that were multi-millionaire, not so billionaire, that were multi-millionaire. I did ask you guys, nobody asked to answer it. How many of them, even these current president, I'm talking 1999, before 1999, how many of them were millionaire, multi-millionaire, not billionaire? How come the democracy, the type of democracy we are practicing, is favoring political office for the political elite and their cronies? How come it's favoring them? And it's not favoring the about 75% of the citizens. You know, people see. You know why I would say? Because I know you for years. I know you for years. I know what you stand for. It's not healthy. Where we are going, we are, see, anybody that tells me that, let's pray, let's pray that things will be okay. If we pray and this country move forward, we pray. No, I said that I would drop my time.
Sorry, but we need to let you go. Apologies for that, but your time is up, so we can create room for other callers who want to talk to us this morning. Remember, number to call is 0700 1051 1051.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning to you, Sansi.
Yes, sir.
And I'm welcoming your better half back to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome back. Our analyst in the studio, very good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for coming every day to give Nigeria tonic. Yeah. My name is Prince Wise, calling you from Amuadafi. Number one, I want to congratulate the two state governors. And when we the Southwesterner, our middle name is Omoluabi. And when we say something good, you want to say it. I want to urge the opponent. I don't want him to continue wasting money to go to court. Because somebody gives it through that technical knockout. The best thing to do this morning is to congratulate the winner. What should it be that every matter paternity election should go to court? And when you go to this court, the man may be just 30 years of age. He will not, he will not tell you what to do. Please, please, we need the better government in this country. So I must obey you like this stuff. I'm just in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much for, of course, keeping to time. We'll move now to messages on social media. On X, Michael Jewis says, election losers will continue to complain until we make poll office perks unattractive and curtail accessibility to public funds. Instead of lamentations, let's restructure to make governance easier and create a masses beneficial system of government. Let's restructure. Jamal Ole says, Happy New Week to you guys. Some people like deceiving themselves. Who is a Labour candidate in Ondo State? Ondo State election is between APC and PDP and all the other parties by votes. Okay, this is I'm not sure this is a statement backed with facts, Jeremiah, so I would not move on to read this comment. Let's move on now to messages on WhatsApp.
Okay, Mayor from Ikotumabwe says, "Good morning, good people of the press. Ondo state election has come and gone forever. I do not know why anyone will think that APC would lose the election. I told you people before the election that President Tinubu will never lose any election in Nigeria, and it can never. The normal language is to go to court if you don't like the results. The next thing you hear, Bayo Onanuga and Shetima. The next thing you hear from Bayo Onanuga and Shetima is that it's because the president is doing well, and that's why APC is winning everywhere. The president is trying to capture many states to position himself for 2027. Okay, that's from Mayor from Ikotumabwe.
All right, let's move over now to messages on WhatsApp. Now we'll go to this one from Abiodun David Temi Tokwe. Says, happy day, guys. Okay, Abiodun David Tokwe says, isn't obvious now that Tinubu is just in Aso Rock parading the titles of Mr. President and fulfilling his Emilocom mantra with no positive proof in all ramifications, as Nigeria is going down the drain. Also, India is very close to Tinubu's heart. If you know, you know. Anyways, no thanks to Mahmoud Yakubu and the technicality judges. Have a prosperous week, guys. Okay.
Well, thank you. This one says, whenever I read about elections in my country and how it has turned from election to selection, it breaks my heart. I want the APC-led government from top to bottom to know that there's a day after tomorrow when retribution and posterity will judge all and sundry. Nothing lasts forever.
All right, Christian from Lekki says, how is inflation in Nigeria nearly 40% when a bag of rice is 120,000 and one egg is 300 naira? Petrol is sold for 1,120 naira per litre. Price of food and other consumables have surged over 400%. How is statistics of this NBS quoting inflation at 33%? Ogazu, please help clarify. The IMF recently said the reforms are not yielding positive results. Attainable gains has thrown Nigerians into suffering.
This one says, good morning to you guys in the studio. They should continue to import more Dangote's monopolistic tendencies. They should continue to import more. Dangote's monopolistic tendencies are causing more problems to both Nigerians and Nigeria. For instance, when the country solely depends on importation, fuel was sold at 700 naira per litre, but when he started refining here, the price increased to 1,080 naira or 1,100 naira per litre. And he goes on to say, welcome back, Uncle Chiwete. Jeremiah from Alakuku.
All right, with that message is a wrap on City Press this morning. Thank you so much, Biola Show, for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, up next is Sports City. My name is Chiwata.
My name is Sanzion. Also, I hear that Manchester United is interested in Osimhen.
Well,
what do you know?
We'll see about that in January.
Amazing things are happening. Galatasaray. Wait, what was it again?
Galatasaray?
No, not the people that loaned him to Galatasaray.
That's Napoli.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just know Osimhen. Yeah, I wish you the best.
Just a radio station.
It's the lifestyle of Lagos. City 1051 FM.
Switch on sweet melodies in your belly with every stop of Honeywell pasta. Oh, so tasty, non-sticky, non-sticky pasta. Quality guarantee, a recipe of greatness. Honeywell pasta, available near you. Honeywell pasta, get your hands on me. Honeywell pasta, it's new and improved too. A recipe of greatness.
Get yours today and switch on sweet melodies in your belly. Honeywell pasta, strands of happiness. Now available at stores near you.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Thanks for letting me stay the night.
You're welcome, dear.
I slept so well. Your bed is so comfortable and your pillows are so like I was resting my head on.
Mocha makes quality pillows. That one is the Crown anti-allergy pillow.
I think it's time I changed mine. I have been using them for ages.
You should. Doctors recommend changing pillows every 1 to 2 years.
Really?
When was the last time you changed your pillows? Buy a Mocha pillow today.
Mocha, adding comfort to life.
Hello there, it's the Women Bank 5 for 5 promo season 4. Bigger, better, with 135 million naira to be won. 50,000 naira to 10 winners every day. 250,000 naira to 50 winners each week. 11 million naira to 131 winners every month. And the grand prize of 5 million naira to 1 winner. To participate, transact daily to qualify for the daily draws. For the weekly draws, fund your account with a minimum of 2,000 naira and transact to qualify. For the monthly draws, fund your Wema Bank account with a minimum of 5,000 naira. Transact at least 5 times and keep a minimum balance of at least 5,000 naira to qualify. Use the Alert app, Wema Alert card, or star 945 hash for all your transactions to qualify. Wema Bank 5 for 5 promo, transforming lives, many winners at a time.
Today's the day I finally reunite with my family in Abuja after years of only communicating through letters. I can already hear their voices and feel their hugs. I'm relaxed and ready for the short flight. But
ladies and gentlemen, this is not your captain speaking. This plane has been hijacked by the Movement for the Advancement of Democracy.
Watch the thrilling drama unfold in Hijack 93, now playing on Netflix with plans starting from 2,200 naira only.
Beat the drop with Coke Studio. Buy Coke and you fit get chance to win trip to South Africa, streaming vouchers, VIP festival tickets, plus plenty bracket gifts. Carry your glass bottle, make you scan the QR code where they for Coke poster. Come put the code where they under the white crown, or carry your plastic bottle, make you scan the QR code where they for the label. Come put the code where they under the white cap to win prizes instanta. Fanta, Sprite and Schweppes serve no carry last for the fun. FCCPC and NLRC don't approve. Terms and conditions dey sha.
Guy, if I tell you all this plenty airtime and data, where they take flex? Now dash glow dash me, you go believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
There now, as I buy my glow sim like this, spirit, I first collect 1,000 naira welcome bonus, Sarah. As I come recharge, bam, glow knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
Wait, you mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus?
Yes.
Plus double data again?
Yes.
For where should have us now?
The glow break the universe now. You want try?
Oh, more. No wonder boys they flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop. I talk calm.
My people, not let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your glow sim today. Dial star